Hey guys, Fusion Fury here with the second video today, which is going to be my PGL Krakow Major 2017 Day 3 predictions, and kind of recapping the events of Day 2. So let's look at the results and go down the list like we normally do. So let's start off with the beginning of the day, which was Optic Penta. No, wait. Yes? No. I don't know now. What was the first game? If my phone would ever work. First game was Liquid Penta, so I am not on the right page. There we go, Liquid Penta. This makes me 0-1 for predictions. What a blowout by Penta. Honestly, like, just unreal. I didn't get to see the match because again the games happen at like 3 a.m. so I usually stay up to play with some friends till 12. So by the time that I actually get to, I wouldn't want to basically go to bed at 12 and then wake up at 3 to then watch all these matches. Unless it's a game that I'm really looking forward to, I probably won't do it. And this definitely went the other way around. I think this is probably a game where Liquid looks at Zeus probably ends up talking to the guys hardcore and just goes like, you guys fucked up bad, and like they go through every problem. I don't really know Penta's map pool, but it doesn't really matter when you get 16-3'd. Like, if you get 16-3'd, map pool almost has nothing to do with it. Your team simply did not function during the game. And I think that's heartbreaking for Liquid. Now, when I looked at the stats, though, I did see, and I'll actually just scroll down, it makes it easier. Twists went 16-16, carrying his team. A big case of Elige and some of the other top players not stepping up. And I've kind of seen this, I've seen Twists when he got on Liquid, and I honestly think that he is a better player than pretty much all the players on Liquid. Like, honest to God, I really do think that this man is the next Elige. Like, a lot of people are saying Elige is the best player in A. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't see the best player in NA going 7-17 against Penta. Okay, I just don't. I don't see it, right? I think at majors, Elige is super good, but I just think that Twists is gonna be this huge player who is in top contention for the best player in North America. Penta, though, outstanding performance from Sunny and HS. They seem to be just rocking it. I know Zen was the last person who was up with it, but Sunny has been very consistent in the KD ratio and in the very high amount of kills. So Sunny with an excellent game. You couldn't have asked for anything better if you're Crystal as an IGL. So yeah, Penta's gonna take that game 16-3, making me 0-1 in my predictions today to start it off. So not a very good start. So next was Optic and Vega Squadron. I'm pretty sure this makes me 0-2. I believe I said Optic was going to win this match, based on the performance of the first, where I thought they did a pretty damn good job against against Penta, but it looks like Optic just didn't. Their players, I don't want to say they didn't show up, right? Because they obviously did. They were all kind of around the same amount of kills. But nobody was outstanding for their team compared to when you look at Vega Squadron and you look and you see that really the only person who didn't overperform on the team was Kashander, who went 10-19, and Mir at the top of the scoreboard as always. And you look at Optic and you go, Naf didn't show up like he showed up the day before. Tarek was, he played okay, but nothing crazy. Hazed, top fragged. It's bad when you have stars like Rush, Tarek, and even Naf, right, and Mixwell, of course, and you're getting the in-game leader, Hazed, who has just now come back to the professional scene as a player, which he hasn't done in a while, and is already in top frags on your match, like, and none of your other star players are showing up. Like, this is a problem. Optic is in a hole right now, and there's not much faith coming behind this team coming into tomorrow. I really am nervous for this team. I don't want them to go out 0-3. I don't think anyone would have predicted for Optic to go out 0-3. So let's hope that they don't. But again, I don't know what matches are going to be tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, where we'll figure out who Optic will be facing, and that will be interesting. But I think overall, Vegas Squadron just showed, they played their own game, and I don't think Optic really showed up in a sense of, none of their star players were hitting, were getting stuff done. Um, like I'm looking through these highlights, right? Mixwell and Tarek got a decent round where they were both kind of getting 2 kills each. But then look, Mir 3K, Chopper 3K, JR double entry kill. Tarek gets a 3K on the defense. That's good. JR snipes down 3 on the offense. Chopper anti-eco 3K. JR and Chopper save the second pistol round with 2 kills each. Hazed gets a 3K, so he was their top fragger. Hazed then gets another clip where he gets a double kill to secure a round. And then Hutchie gets a quad kill to close out the map. Like, you just look at this, and all the highlights are just going to Vegas Squadron, and I think that shows that really Optic Star Power did not perform, which is unfortunate. So that makes me 0-2 for the predictions. Now, this game, thank God, after I decided to switch my prediction from when I was in that car ride, because Tyloo barely won it out against Renegades. I think this one was going to be a close game, and it looks like it was quite the turnaround. Like, Tyloo probably shouldn't have won this game, but they did. As you can see right here, right? They had to win 11 rounds to close out this map, and Renegades chokes again. They choke for the second time. Now, this is going to hurt, right? I'm sure what's going through their heads, man. Look, you choke the first game, and then you come into the second game, get a 3-12 half, and you're probably thinking, all right, we got this. Like, or actually, hold on, am I reading this wrong? That's 14. Never mind. Tyloo almost choked, I think. I'm trying to read this. I don't really understand how this. Okay, 12. Okay, never mind. Tyloo almost choked. Scratch everything I just said. Tyloo almost choked. Renegades was on the comeback. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to hurt their motivation too much. If I'm Renegades, I think it's just another close game that you just got to be like, frig. Not much to say. As I'm looking here, I can see that, JKS was getting some kills. Let's see the stats. JKS 28 and 18. He's had an amazing tournament. Honestly, he's been probably Renegades' best player. Nifty, even though he went 14 and 23, which I was kind of surprised to see because I saw that he had a highlight clip. Nifty's trying to get some impact. He's getting impact kills. I wish he could, obviously get more kills in general. But what are you gonna do, right? Azur, getting kills as well. Nexa getting 17. I think also if you look at the frags, you can see Tyloo out-fragged Renegades for the most part. But you can definitely tell that JKS needs some help. He definitely needs some help because 28 and 18, you don't win the game, must suck. Although Mo is a player that I said you need to watch out for. He went 30 and 19. Very good game for him. So not much that you can really say. I think Tyloo just ended up getting more frags and almost choked, however. So Renegades did bring it close, which is what I thought. But Tyloo did close it out, so now I'm 1-2 for the predictions of day 2. So let's look. And Big versus Tangri. Oh my freaking god. Big almost choked this game. I watched the very end, and it was like 15-14 or something like that when I watched, and I was like getting nervous. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna lose to Tangri, holy shit. But they ended up closing out the map because Tabson does what Tabson does and gets a triple kill. So Tabson being Tabson. As you can see right here, Tabson 3K to win the map for Big. Nothing much you can really say there. As you're looking here, Tabson triple kill. Tabson back-to-back quad kill. Oh my god, Tabson got a back-to-back quad kill clutch. That is ridiculous. Tabson quad kill clutch. Next 3K, so he got a clip, alright, and then Tabson gets another 3K. Like, this man is insane. Tabson is just going off this tournament. He really, honest to god, I think the past 2 matches that he's had have been absolutely phenomenal and basically carried his team kicking and screaming into the next games. As you can see, Tabson 38 and 22. And again, look, next, yeah, he got that 3K, but he really didn't show up this game. Kiev, he went negative. He didn't really perform too well. Gabi, you don't, not that you don't want to see Gabi do well, but when you see that Gabi is the second on the scoreboard, you're kind of worried because you should be seeing Kiev and Nex right behind Tabson, and they're just not there. And Legia has had a horrific tournament. He really has not been performing at all, which is not good. This team is struggling, and they need to find an answer soon because otherwise they will go out of this tournament, and I really don't want to see that happen because I know they have the potential to make it out. They definitely do. They just need to get into that mindset, and they just need to hit those shots. 16-14, though, Big did end up winning the match. Nice to see that Tengri can compete, and I'm interested to see who they're going to be facing in what could possibly be their last match of the day, of the tournament, not the day. But yeah, 2-2 for predictions after that. And Immortals Dignitas. I believe I chose Immortals for this one. Even though I didn't put any of these two teams to make it into the major. But I did predict Immortals to win this match, and they did. It was a bit of a struggle for Immortals to close out this map on the T side. You're getting pretty nervous, at least I was, because I voted for Immortals, and I was watching this and going, oh my god, Dignitas might actually make another chance at comeback. But for 2 days in a row now, Dignitas makes the comeback, almost there, dude. Like, they almost get there, and then they just lose it at the end, and they just don't get the win. So that's honestly going to be really hurting Dignitas. They're going to be feeling really bad. But Immortals ends up closing out the game. Jacob with another fantastic match, again having a great tournament. What's crazy is anyone who every team seems to have that one player this tournament that is just fragging, that is just the die-hard fragger, and is just non-stop frags, and is just consistently putting up those numbers every game. And so far, Jacob looks to be that man for Dignitas, and Bolt's looking like that man for Immortals, even though he is the IGL, which is kind of funny. He actually became IGL, and Steele said this in the interview, and he said, Bolt's, he became IGL, and all of a sudden, for some weird reason, it usually happens the other way around, but for some reason he became IGL and he was better. So, who knows what's going on there. But, Bolt's 27-17, having a great match. You see that Henny had a good game too, which is always great to see. KNG not having the best game. You kind of hope that he steps up later on because he can be a real menace. But Immortals winning that match. I am now 3-2 in predictions. Moving on to the next game. We have Flipside versus Hellraisers. I never expected this to go this way. I was thinking, wow, we haven't seen much of Flipside. I don't really know much about them. They won their first map, but barely against Renegades, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go with Hellraisers on this one. They seemed a little bit more convincing. Boy, was I wrong, because Flipside proved me wrong. They shut me up. 16-4. What a game, honestly. Hellraisers going and picking Overpass, most likely because they were successful against Vega Squadron, and I feel like that's kind of a dangerous pick against Flipside because they are a very tactical team, and Overpass is a very tactical map. So a little bit shocking there, but Flipside just shutting Hellraisers down in quick fashion, very supreme throughout the entire match. Electronic going insane with an insane 26-9 KD ratio. I want to actually go back to Big and check out Tabson's ADR. I'm pretty sure, because you look at Electronic, and 127.3 ADR is really, really high. That's insane. And I think, I want to say Tabson's was even higher, possibly in the 130s. So I want to take a look at that real quick. But I'm going to do that after I look through all these. But, I mean, not much to say about this game. Hellraiser just getting destroyed. As you can see, Dead Fox really not playing too well, which is it's a shame because you really want to see Dead Fox perform. And again, Bondic has looked like the top player for Hellraisers so far this tournament, and Electronic has looked like the top player for Flipside. And it's just really weird how the top player has always been consistent, except for Optic, apparently, where NAF just didn't show up. So, yeah, I mean, Flipside winning that game, that makes me, oh god, I don't remember, I need to go back because I'm actually going crazy. 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3 in my favor as G2 takes down Cloud9. Cloud9 coming in with a comeback toward the end, but they just cannot get it done. And apparently also this game, I'm not gonna, the whole top fragger stays consistent doesn't really work out here. NBK was the top fragger in the first match. It doesn't look like that happened again. It looks like Apex really stepped it up, so did Shox. But what you can notice from this is that G2's only weak player was really Body, and everybody else showed up, which is very important for G2 if they want to continue and be very successful, which is excellent news for G2. As for Cloud9, the whole top fragger stays consistent. Happens again. Stewie 2K bringing the fire, 25 and 21. The best player in the server. That is pretty crazy. Stewie really wants to get into this major. He is not ready to lose it again. This is definitely not the end for Cloud9. It was kind of hard to see Cloud9 winning this match because, it's just G2 is the best team at this tournament. So Cloud9 fans should not be upset about this. Honestly, you should be pretty happy that Cloud9 almost came back. Because if I'm honest, Cloud9 now has that safety of knowing they can't face G2 for the rest of this tournament. So it's not like they're going to go to the very end and then have to face G2 because maybe G2 fucks up somehow, and then they have to face G2 and just there's no hope in winning or something like that. So Cloud9 very thankfully gets this G2 match out of the way, so they don't have to worry about it anymore. But G2 is going to be 2-0 if they win one more game. They will move on into the major, which I'm pretty sure we were all expecting G2 to go 3-0. And move on to the major, so that makes me 4-3, so worse than yesterday. And then we've got Godsent and Mousesports for our final match. I predicted correctly. Mousesports did win this game, 5-3 in predictions. But more importantly, I did not get to see this match. I was playing a Counter-Strike match that did not go too well, if I'm honest. And top fragger thing happens again for at least Mousesports. Doesn't really happen for Godsent, as Niger did not top frag for his team in a very convincing fashion. But Mousesports, my two players that I said to look for in this in this match in particular, I said was Oscar and Rops, and look what they did. They brought the fire. Oscar performing just as well as he did in the last match, and Rob stepping up after that first game where he didn't really show too much. Not that he needed to, but he really proved that he is up for the task now, as he gets 23 kills against Godsent. So very happy. It looks like the Mousesports side did pretty well. Only player that didn't show up that I thought would be Lowell, but it looks like Lowell got some sort of clip. I thought I saw a clip. Lowell opens up the B site with a double kill, and he got a 3K on the defensive side. So that's good. At least he got some impact frags, right? If I'm honest, that's an alright prediction day. I don't think it was anything crazy. I don't think I did a super amazing job. I do think that the Hellraisers pick over Flipside was understandable, at least from my POV. I hadn't really seen much of Flipside, and they didn't look very convincing against Renegades, so I didn't think that they would do too well against Hellraisers, but they really proved me wrong. So I'm happy to see that. It's looking like Flipside is going to go 2-0 and could possibly make it to the major early. They seem to be like the final boss of the major qualifiers. They're always in the major, they always perform in the major qualifier, even if they don't perform in other tournaments, which is probably really good to beat. Oh boy, English is hard. English is difficult. I may need a dictionary for this. It's really good to be good at the major qualifier, because at least that way you're gonna make it. Because Optic sure doesn't look like they will. Haha. Okay, I just looked up results again. Oh, well that's actually fine, because I was gonna go to check out Tabson's ADR for today against Tengri. Let's check out the ridiculous ADR. 131.6. I mean, if that isn't a good ADR, I don't know what is. That's insane. That's actually crazy. Compared to the best player on Tengri in terms of ADR, which was a 97.4. So yeah, that's pretty nuts. Anyways, let's look at the matches for tomorrow, Saturday. Okie dokie. So we've got Dignitas versus Tengri. If Dignitas doesn't win this game, man, then they deserved the other two losses. I don't know what else to say. They got the easiest match in this 0-2 bracket here. Dignitas versus Tengri. I think it's pretty fair to say Dignitas will end up winning this game. I mean, you can look at the predictions right there, 67-32. I think that's fairly put. Around a 70-30 prediction for Dignitas to win this match, and I think that's fair to say. After how Dignitas has still made their games close. Meanwhile, Tengri got 16-1 by Mouse Sports, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, Optic versus Renegades. This is gonna be so hard for me to predict because I want. It's so hard, man, because none of these teams, look, the predictions are hard, but Optic looking like they're gonna, yeah. This is a really hard prediction to make because both teams have shown that they can play well, but neither of them have been very convincing, right? Like, oh yeah, I can put faith into this team that they're gonna do well. Like, you can't say that about either of these teams. In terms of performance, you kind of want to go with Renegades, but at the same time, but the potential for Optic is better than the potential for Renegades, right? This is a tough one, man. This is a really hard one to predict, and I'm probably going to get it wrong either way I do it. Historically, Optic has beaten Renegades, so we're going to kind of go off that, and we're going to say, in 2017, they're 3-1. So, I'm going to say Optic's going to edge it out. I'm an Optic fan, so I know, a little bit biased there, but I mean, I don't think you can blame me, right? I mean, really, this game could go either way. This is going to be a tough match for both teams. I can definitely see Renegades winning this as well. This is a really, 50-50 prediction for me. And if you choose Renegades because you think that JKS is just going to go off and win them the game, I would totally believe you. This game is just going to be a really hard match. I'm hoping that Optic will pull it out, though. For the sake of their fans and for the sake of themselves, okay? Their confidence is dropped, I can tell. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Optic. Tyloo Vega Squadron. Okay. This is also kind of a toughie, right? Tyloo has the advantage here in terms of the pick-a-winner, but it's also a very close pick-a-winner. This is another kind of 50-50. Not as close, I don't think, as the Optic Renegades match, but still kind of a 50-50. I really want to go with Tyloo because I think they've shown a better performance against some of the better teams. So I don't think they've ever had a head-to-head. Yes, this is like the first. This is going to be the first time Tyloo and Vega Squadron have ever played each other, which I think is a pretty interesting prospect. And because of that, I'm going to go that Tyloo will win this game because I think Tyloo is better at facing new opponents than Vega Squadron is. Who knows? Maybe that's some just bogus reasoning, but I do think Tyloo will beat Vega Squadron. They definitely have the aim to do it, and I think that they've done better so far this tournament than Vega Squadron has. So yeah, we're gonna go with Tyloo again. These are some very close games. Big versus Immortals. Well, you know where my vote is, right? You do. I mean, you know where my vote is. My vote is big, right? But it's this is hard, right? Because I personally want Big to win this match, but realistically, I think Immortals has a pretty damn good chance at winning this game. So I watched Gabi's interview, and he talked a lot about pressure and how the pressure was getting to them and how they really just need to stop it and just have fun like they did in the minor. And if, honest to God, man, this is what I'm telling you right now, if Big plays like they did at the minor, they would honestly be winning this match 100%. Honest to God, Big performed so well at the minor that this match would be fairly close, but Big would win it. I don't want to sound like a fanboy for putting Big down as my pick, because you're looking at this pick-a-winner and you're going, Ricky, what are you thinking? Right? You're a madman for choosing Big in this match. But honestly, I think third time's the charm. I'm gonna be like fucking Moses for NA, but with big, and I'm not even fucking German. I'm even more. I'm an SK fan, and I'm voting against Brazil to go with the German team. Oh God, but I think this. I don't want to say third time's the charm. That sounds so cheesy and stupid, but um. All right, I'll be completely honest. I'm gonna go for the fanboy pick. I'm gonna go for the fanboy pick and say Big's gonna win it. I'm gonna say that Big is gonna show up for once, and that their players are gonna show up and snap the fuck out of it. Which I hope they fucking do for my sake, because otherwise I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot. But it's definitely gonna be a good game to watch, especially if Big's players show up. You can expect Tabson to show up. Hopefully Kiev and Next show up. If they show up, this team is so good. But if they don't, Immortals will win this game. If Bolt shows up and Tabson shows up, but Henny shows up and Kiev doesn't show up, Immortals wins. If Kiev and Tabson show up and Bolt shows up but not Henny, Big wins. You know what? This is kind of like a who shows up game, right? But I can't tell if this percentage prediction is off of fans because they just know more about Immortals, or is it just because just Big hasn't really shown that they're that good in this tournament, and it's hard to say, right? But I think I'm just gonna go for the fanboy pick and say Big's gonna win it. It's not a realistic pick, obviously. I think realistically Immortals will probably end up winning it, but I'm gonna go with Big because I'm a fanboy. You know, you can say fuck Ricky all you want, you know, but I'm just gonna go with Big. C9 and Godsent. I think C9 have showed that they're ready to play. I mean, the 78-22 is even worse than the big big Immortals match, and I think this is fair to say. I think Cloud9 will definitely end up winning this best of one, no doubt about that. Stewie's going to show up. It's going to be insane. Cloud9 is going to win this. Although I will say, Cloud9, as a, you know, well, at least the Cloud9 team has always struggled against the likes of Pronax. Not really anybody else, but Pronax's teams. But that was Fnatic. This is Godsent. So Cloud9, I think, are going to take this map with relative ease. I'm not going to go too far in depth into that one. Although I am very impressed by Cloud9's performance against G2. Penta versus Mousesports. Now, on a normal day, right, I would say Mousesports is going to win this. However, Penta has been performing very, very well this tournament. Looking like one of the better teams in this tournament, if not the second best team in this tournament. And I think Penta will end up bringing this game home if they continue doing what they're doing. So I am going to go with Penta, but I will say it will be close. I do think Oscar and Robs will show back up again, and I do think that it will be a close match, as the prediction, you know, says over here, that the percentage, they think it's also going to be a close match. And I do think it'll be close, but I think Penta is just, right now, at least in this tournament, the better team. And, you know, they've had the tougher matches, and I think they will pull this one out. So, Penta for that one. Liquid versus Hellraisers. Both teams have showed that they can choke. So, you can't pull the, oh, well, this team choked in this match, so I think the other team... No, you can't pull that shit. Knowing how Zeus is as a coach, right, from watching some of the videos, from seeing how he talks to them, and how he really rallies the troops and gets them a little bit more focused into the games and how they've come back. Liquid has, at least at Pro League, I remember, you know, Liquid had to beat, like, North, which is, like, looking like the best team in their group, and Optic had to beat Navi, and they ended up succeeding and making it through to the quarters, and then winning the quarters and going to the semis. I think Liquid is definitely going to get the pep talk in this one, and by pep talk, I mean Zeus is going to ream them, and I think they're really going to look at what's going wrong, look at Hellraiser's game, see what they need to do, and really focus up for this match. I think Twist is going to show up again. That man is incredible. So I think Liquid will pull this game out. Again, it'll be close. That's what I'm saying, man. These games are going to get closer and closer and closer as less teams show up after today, of course, and everyone kind of gets nitpicked into how good they really are at this moment in time and stuff like that. And I think Liquid will pull this game out, though, against Hellraisers. And we've got G2 flip side. if you're thinking Flipside is winning this, you've got to be on some fucking drugs, okay? I think G2 is going to win this game. I don't really need to say much about this. Who knows? Maybe Flipside will prove me wrong again, but the last time they proved me wrong, it was against Hellraisers, and this ain't no Hellraisers. This is G2, and yeah, normally you could say, yeah, but if you outsmart your opponents, you'll win even if the other guys have better aim, but in this case, they're G2, and their aim is too good. So, yeah, okay, I did not mean for that to be a pun. Anybody who thought that I meant for that to be a pun, I'm sorry. I did not mean for that to be a pun. I apologize for the unintentional pun. And I know it now sounds intentional because I noticed it right after I said it, but I kind of realized that I emphasized it, and then I was like, oh, wait, I didn't mean for that to be a pun. Awkwardness aside, I think G2 will win it. I think they've got the better aim, the better players, everything they need, and I think they will defeat the final boss of the major qualifier. And move on, because honestly, I'm pretty positive G2 is going to make it 3-0. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. And that's... Oh, I talk too much. That is the final predictions of day 3. Whew, so much talking, dude. So much talking. But I will say, these games are getting more interesting, more exciting to watch some of these games, because in the beginning it was like, Mouse Sports versus Tengri, and you're like, do I really want to watch this? I don't know, man. I mean, even before you realized it was going to be a 16-1, you were going, it doesn't sound that exciting to me. But these games are looking exciting, like, you know, Optic Renegades looks like a pretty damn good game. Tyloo Vega looks like a pretty good game. Big Immortals, great game. Cloud9 Godsend, if you're an NA fan, you're always going to watch Cloud9. You always want to see him play. Penta and Mousesports have looked amazing this tournament. Yeah, you're going to watch that game. Liquid Hellraisers, both the teams that have kind of choked to a degree, right? Are really kind of messed up, not performed. So you kind of want to see that matchup. And then G2 Flipside, you want to see if Flipside, the major qualifier bosses, can take down G2, or if G2, the supreme tier 1 team that they are, can just wreck Flipside. So I think they're all pretty amazing matches. Maybe not the Dignitas Tengri game. I'm pretty sure Dignitas is going to win that game. But the other games look very interesting to me, and I'm excited because 2 teams are leaving and 2 teams are making it, and we're about to figure out which ones are moving on and which ones are dropping out tomorrow at day 3 for the PGL Krakow Major Qualifier. This is Fusion Fury. Like, comment, and subscribe. Put your predictions down in the comment section below. Give me some advice if you'd like, and I'll see you all in the next video.